Great. Thank you guys so much. Well, unfortunately, we're not be able to do this live, which is a big bummer for all of us, but we're dealing with this virtual environment that we find ourselves in. So thank you guys so much for your time today. We are going to be covering Moxie websites and a little bit about Moxie Engage, which is the new CRM, the client relationship management tool that you all have access to. So we're going to keep it casual. If you have any questions, you can unmute and let me know, or you can type them in the chat box. And Jessica, if you could just help keep an eye on that chat box for me, I would appreciate it. So if you've not logged into Moxie yet, this is what it looks like when you first launch into it. But we're going to take a step back a little bit further and show you Schmidt Resources. So if you come into Schmidt Resources and you go to Michigan, or heck, you can go to Florida if you want. It's like 90 there, not 18 like it is here. If you scroll down, you'll see the square for MoxieWorks. This is a great launching place for you. You can get to your login right here, my.schmidtresources.com. We have our Moxie Mondays playlist that you can watch right here. We have a link to the support page, which has so many great videos and PDF how-tos, and they have a chat box there that you can talk to the support team. So it's a really great tool that you can utilize as well. Plus, we have some recorded training already on here that the Moxie team has done for us. So again, schmidtresources.com, find the Moxie Square, and then you can launch into the login. If you don't have your login information, reach out to your hub. They should be able to log in there and let you know. It should be your CB Great Lakes email address, unless you have asked the Moxie team to change your sync email to a different Gmail account. But you can do a password reset using your CB Great Lakes, or reach out to whoever is in charge of your hub, and they'll be able to help you get access to the site. So one of the main questions that we've had come up is, how do you change your phone number or your contact information if it's incorrect? So the first thing you want to do when you launch into Moxie the first time is click in the upper right corner. Your headshot should be loaded in there. Our ASCs and RSCs worked really hard to get all of those headshots moved over. If it's not in there, no problem, you can easily load it. So when you click on your account, you just click right here to My Account, and it's going to load your information. If you want to change your photo, which does show up on the live site, your website, it'll show up. You just click the little camera here, upload new, and then you can upload a new headshot if it's the incorrect one. If you don't have one, you're going to see the letter of your first name. Still can click on the camera and load your photo. If you need to change your email address, your phone number, whatever it might be, you simply click the pencil, and it's going to let you update your personal information. You can see your name. I'm sorry, what was the question? Let me go back. Do you not have this pencil here? So if you click in the upper right corner on your photo and go into My Account, and then you should have the pencil. Okay. And so you can update your personal info, your contact info here. So you do have a couple different email addresses. You have your primary email address, you have your display email address, which will show up on your websites and in all your products, including Engage and Present. And then you have a backup email. So if you have a personal email address that you use, that you have perhaps your other email address is forwarded to, you can enter that there. Then you'll want to make sure that all of your phone numbers are correct. And then you can click over to Web Info, and mine is blank because I don't show up on the web since I'm not licensed, but you can put a title of your bio here, and you can type in your paragraph here. Now again, our ASCs and RSCs worked really hard to get that information pulled over from Lone Wolf. So if you have information in there and you're wondering where it came from, that was copy and pasted from the old online office site. So definitely take a read through there, make sure it's updated information. If it's not, you can definitely just edit it yourself right in this screen. You can also make sure that your social media sites are all linked through here. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Pinterest, Blogger. All the main social media sites are there. After all of these edits are complete, you just click save in the upper right corner, and it's going to save all of those changes. It gives you this little notification here that you've successfully updated the profile. That's how you know that it has been saved. Are there any questions on updating your profile? All right, great. So now we're going to talk a little bit about updating your consumer-facing website. So if you were to go to cbgreatlakes.com, this is our new consumer-facing website. So this is the page that we're going to talk about updating right now. If you go to agents and offices here, you're going to see that all of our agents have their own website. If there's no headshot, that means the agent hasn't updated them yet, or the ASC was unable to fill one in. So this is the profile that we're going to be talking about right now. So you can see it's going to have all of your active listings and also all your sold listings on your site. So we definitely want to make sure that we have this updated the way that we want it to look. So we're back in Moxie, and you're going to want to go back into the upper right corner, which is always going to launch your menu. If you click that, you come down to the bottom, and you're not going to have all these options that I'm seeing. So your menu is going to look different than mine, and that's just simply because whatever your security level is. But you do want to find the one that says website, and you go ahead and click on that. This box comes up, and it's going to show you what your new URL is. So it is a different naming sequence than what our old one was. So if you were with us prior to November of 2019, you actually get two URLs because you have the new naming one, and Moxie forwarded the old naming URL to route to the new one. If you joined us after November, then you're only going to have the new naming framework, which I believe is better, because instead of putting you as the agent last in the naming of the URL, it puts you first. So if you were here prior, don't worry about it. If you've got business cards with the old URL on it, it's all forwarding to the new one. But you do have the option going forward if you would like to, if you are doing new business cards because we have the great new brand, or if you're launching new postcards or whatnot, you do have the option of using the new URL, which is first name dash last name .cbgreatlakes.com. So again, this is the new way that Moxie has our website URLs for you guys, for your own specific websites. So yes. So the easiest way to update your account with that information is to actually pull open your Facebook page. So if you go to Facebook, you want to launch your business page, and just copy the whole URL in the bar. And by that, we mean this bar right here. Just copy and paste it over. That way you'll make sure that you have the correct page, and then it's not a broken link. And then it'll let you test that link as well. Once you have the information saved in, you click save, you can go to your website and test those links. I hope that answered the question, but let me know if there's a follow-up. So I'm assuming that's something that they purchased in GoDaddy or something. It should be automatic, but the best course of action to take is to log into wherever you purchase that URL, GoDaddy or whatever it may be, and just add the new link in. It should direct, but again, that's directing a direction, adding more to the chain. So go ahead and just copy the new naming URL and paste that in as the forward, and it'll just make sure that there's one less way that it can go wrong. So great question. It depends on who you have as a host. If you have GoDaddy as a host, you go into GoDaddy and you go into your forwarding menu and you just paste it into where the forward is. But if you have a different host, it just depends. Each one operates a little bit differently. But you could reach out to their help desk and ask for help if you have any questions based on which company that has your URL provided to you. Yes. Yep, so you'll just want to grab those URLs from where you have them launched and just paste them in to make sure that you have the correct linkage. That's the easiest way to do it, is to pull up your page and paste it in. And Moxie is completely mobile, so you can go to Moxie on your cell phones, your tablets, and go to my.schmidtresources.com, and you're going to see the same thing that you're seeing on the screen right now. So if you need to do that from Instagram on your phone, you can go ahead and go into Instagram, copy it from your phone, and paste it into your my.schmidtresources.com profile and link it that way. Does that catch us up, Jessica? Okay, great. Thank you. All right, so we're going to go back now that we explained the URL. We're going to go back in. Oh, sorry, I clicked wrong. We're going to go back into the upper right corner, launch our menu, go down to website. And from here, we're going to access your website admin. This link right here is where you want to go. Now, this is a WordPress product. So if you've ever used WordPress before, great. And if you haven't, don't worry about it. It does appear to be a little intimidating, but it does take you through step by step, basically what you need to do. So if you do nothing else to update your website, you already have one up and going. You have your headshot, you have your contact information, it'll link your live listings through. There's nothing else you have to do. But you have a huge opportunity to customize the site as much as you want to. There's a couple different ways to do that. You can come right here to where it says common tasks, and it has links to each individual thing. You can completely ignore all the menu on the left side if you choose to, and just go through their step-by-step guide to customize each individual part of your website. So for example, personalize your site style. If you click go there, it's going to take you to the menu portion over here. But again, you don't need to know that it says appearance, because it told you that you're going to update your website and how it looks. There's two different ways to do this if you don't want to have to create your own custom page. There's search focused and there's agent focused. So obviously the agent focus is more focused on you as the agent. It puts your profile, your bio, everything at the top of the page, with the search underneath. So you can see your information here. This picture in the back is completely customizable, and we'll cover where to do that here shortly. And then the search bar goes there. The default is the search focused, so it has your photo that you choose here, the search at the very top, and then the agent information. You can create a custom page as well. If you want it to look a little bit differently than either of those options, you can launch into creating a new page, and it lets you add any information that you want. So you do have that opportunity. If you change this, you simply click publish, and then it'll save your changes. So I'm going to click back at home right here. And then the next step is to personalize your home page. So again, you can launch into that from the menu here, but there's no need to, because it's going to take you step by step what you need to do to customize your website. So if you click go there, this is where you can upload an image. So in the state of Michigan, this is our default photo that was chosen by the marketing group, real pretty house with the fountain. But you can choose any photo that you want to, and it gives you those parameters. So a lot like Zap, it tells you exactly what size it wants. So 2200 by 1182 pixels. All you have to do is click upload or choose an image. You just have to confirm that yes, you do in fact have the rights to that photo. Don't go steal something from the internet. You might have copyright infringement. If you have a particular photo in mind and you can't find one that you can use, just reach out to anybody in the marketing group. They all have Getty images, and if you explain the type of image that you want, they'll be able to pull that down for you so that you can load it into your Moxie sites. From here, you just click select files, find wherever the photo is on your site, click open, and then it'll let you put that in there. There is also an image gallery. that you can choose some of these stock photos that are already loaded in there. So say you don't particularly love the house, but you're in Northern Michigan, so this one is something that you think would fit your website better. You just click the little circle radial button there, and then you can choose any of these stock photos. This one's very obviously more like Florida, so you probably wouldn't want to choose that. But you have all of these stock photos in here. You can see there's just loads of them. So you have options. If you don't have one that you want to use, but you want to change that up, feel free to use any in the image gallery. From here, just like what the option that you had in Online Office, you can change what it says above your search bar. So right now the default is Find Your Dream Home. And that again is what shows up right above the search box, but you can have that anything you want. You can put in the text that you want there. How your name appears in the search bar text, you can change if you want, but it should come over from your profile, so it should automatically be your name. We showed you how to change your headshot in your profile, so if you do that, it's going to autofill back here for your website. If you want to have a different headshot than you have in your profile, you can do that here, but I don't really see a big need for that. Again, all of these phone numbers will come over from your profile, but you do have the opportunity to update them in here as well. This is where you can put your welcome text. But again, if your bio was dumped in your profile, it's going to autofill here, but you have more options in here. You can do things like insert media. You can add a video if you want. You can insert links to other websites. You can put in special characters. You can put in page breaks so that it's broken up. There's just a lot of customization that you can do here. Here we have a featured properties module. So this shows up on your homepage, but you have a couple different options. So you can do your active listings. If you're not huge into listing and you work mostly with buyers, you can do your office's listings. You can choose to do the company's active listings. So you have a lot of options here. You can also create a property list. So say you list mostly in a subdivision and you have some listings in there, some of your coworkers have other listings. You can create a property list based on MLS number that'll rotate just those listings. Now, obviously, as they go off market, whether they sell, go under contract, or expire, they will come off that property list. But again, just a lot of opportunity for customization here. But again, if you don't want to spend the time to customize, you can just simply click one of these options and it's already done for you. We're not going to talk about custom searches today. It's a little bit more intense, but if you're interested in that, again, just head to Schmidt Resources, click on the Moxie Square, go into the support page, and it'll explain how to do all of that for you. You can add a video here if you didn't put it in the welcome page, but you want a video on your home page. You can simply do that from this page here. If you don't want the mortgage rate widget to show up, and again, at the bottom of the page, it just like any mortgage rate calculator you've ever seen, that is included on all your websites. But if you don't like it or it doesn't speak to your region, if you click this box, it'll hide the widget and you won't have to worry about having that on your website. And then once you're done and you have everything the way you want it, you simply click publish. So that's step 2. I'm going to go ahead and leave because I made changes, but I don't need to save them. And it's going to take me right back to the screen. As soon as you click publish and you click home, you're going to be right back here. So again, we're not going to be talking about customization of searches or anything at that particular time. But again, you can see that you have a lot of different options. You can organize your site's navigation menu. So in the upper right corner across the top on the consumer facing site is what the navigation menu is. So when you see it say navigation menu, that's all of these options here. So this is the standard for the company website, but you have the option to customize that if you choose to by clicking go there. So again, it takes you here to site pages, but you didn't need to know that that's where you had to click because you're simply following their guidelines on how to customize your site. So any of these words, home, properties, buying and selling, all of these are standard that the company provides to you. But if you don't like them or if you want to change them, you can click hide so it comes out of that navigation. You can click delete so it completely comes off your website. You can also edit it. So if you edit it, you're not editing the company's version of it, but you're editing for yourself. So again, a lot of different opportunity here to customize it how you want. The blog comes over as hidden, but if you're a blogger and you want to add blog content, you can go ahead and just click show. Same with neighborhood news. If you don't want that showing up on your website, you just simply click hide. You also have the opportunity to add pages. Now this gets a lot more intense and a lot more technical, but you can add a new page. So say you want to add a page about your local schools. You can add a page, design it how you want. There's some templates if you want to do it that way, and then you can add in content there. Just make sure that anytime that you make changes to these pages, you find the Publish tab. Sometimes it's to the left, like it was on the last screen. On this particular screen, it's on the right. You can see on each specific page, there's always the Help widget. So if you click the Help widget, you can type in your question, and it's going to give you some answers. Or if it doesn't answer your question, you can click Get in Touch, and it's going to allow you to contact the support team. So that, very useful how pink Help button shows up on every single page. I'm going to click back to home, and it's going to take me back to my list, but I'm going to pause in case there's any questions, Jessica. Yep. The public's finding the new website at cbgreatlakes.com. It's all the same URL. If you were an agent prior to November, if they type in your old URL, they're going to launch into your new site. If you were an agent after that, they're going to find you at your new URL only. But if you've been with us prior to November, either option is available for your clients to find you, or if they're on Google, we're working really hard with Google to get our SEO back. So if they go to cbgreatlakes.com is where they would find the main site, but then you do have your own URLs as well. Was that it besides the client testimonials? Okay. So testimonials is kind of twofold. So right here where it says add your client testimonials, you can click go there. So right here, you can actually, unlike Zap, that doesn't allow you to add testimonials, you can actually take testimonials from Zap, you can take testimonials from Realtor.com, you can copy and paste them into here. So you can give it a header, you can copy the content, you can add an image of the house even if you want to, and then you can go ahead and click publish. However, if you're a Zillow user and you want to add your Zillow testimonials automatically without you having to copy and paste them, that's actually done from your profile page. So if you watched Moxie Monday, I believe not this past Monday, but the Monday before, and you can find it in the Moxie Monday playlist, they covered this topic. But to add your Zillow testimonials automatically to your page, you come here to your profile, which is again where we launched into the first portion about your profile. But you want to come over where it says Agent Tools over here to the left underneath your headshot, and you want to click on Integrated Tools. From here, you will see that Zillow is an option, and you click Activate. You have to put in your Zillow email address, so whatever you create your agent Zillow hub underneath, you want to put that there, and then just click Save. And then your Zillow testimonials will come over automatically, including your star rankings. So that's the way that if you're using Zillow, you can automatically have them come over. If you want testimonials from Zap, if you want testimonials from Realtor.com, Nextdoor, I'm trying to think of some other options. There's lots of options. You simply launch back into your website editor, which again, upper right corner, website, access your website admin. I'm going to have so many of these windows open. And then right here for your common tasks, you simply click on Add Your Client Testimonials. Click Go there. And then again, you can have your secondary screen open and then just copy paste, copy paste. Hopefully that answered that question. Great. Was there anything else? Good questions. The company listings are not by region. The company listings are going to be Michigan, Ohio, Florida. So obviously that's very bulky. But the office listings would be obviously your office listings, and those do not need to be added. You simply, for your search list, for your featured listings list, just choose the active office listings, and all of your office listings will show up in that list. Any other? Okay. And I apologize if you're hearing a little background noise. My 5-year-old and 9-year-old are upstairs playing with my dog, so I apologize if there's a little bit of background noise. They're doing the best they can to keep themselves busy. Okay, great questions. If you do want to blog, you can simply set up your blog. Just click go there, and it's going to take you right to that page. You can do all uncategorized. So it explains it right here to you. To write a post for your blog, you want to use this shortcut. So you click there. Again, you can see it's very intuitive if you just kind of read the instructions on each page. It's going to take you where you need to go. So this is actually how you add a new post. You add the title, you can add media, you can type out your blog post, whatever it might be, and then you simply click publish. You can add new categories. So obviously the default is uncategorized, but say you want a buyer category, you want a seller category, maybe it's a neighborhood category, maybe it's not related to buying or selling. Maybe it's home improvement, maybe it's tips and tricks on getting a mortgage. So you can add different categories here so that they can be categorized how you want them. And then obviously those all important tags for site engine optimization, those can be added here. So again, you can see I keep clicking back to home. If you ever get lost in here, I'm not quite sure to click home, and it's going to take you there. You can also, as you make changes, if you want to see what they look like live, you can click visit site right up here in the upper left corner, and it's going to take you to your site. So again, mine's not an active site, but this is the default. If you do nothing today, and if you don't want to update your website, this is what it's going to look like. The content that your ASC pulled over is going to be your headshot and your contact information. You're going to have the default search, find your dream home phrasing. You're going to have the default picture in the background, and you're going to have the default navigations. You're also going to have the default featured properties. And then this is that mortgage rate widget that I showed you that you could hide if you wanted to. So again, if you've not done anything up to this date, which is fine because we're all learning this new product together, you do have an active website up and running here. However, if you do want to customize it, that's what you do by going through these tasks. So SSL has to do with security, and we do want to make sure that you turn it on. So again, if you do nothing else to personalize these, please go ahead and log in and just go to apply an SSL cert. If you just click go there, all you have to do is click go ahead and activate SSL. Once you click that, it's going to turn that little red X into a green checkbox and you're done. It's just that simple. It sounds very techy and very web programmy, but it's not. So you just want to turn on your SSL. And again, that's going to change your HTTP in your URL to an HTTPS. So again, seems technical, but it's really just a checkbox that you want to do. Back to home, which you should see a theme here. Just keep clicking home and going back to your next task. The other thing that you want to do is make your site visible to search engines. So if you click go there, you just want to check here to discourage search engines from indexing the site, and then click, or am I wrong on that, Jessica? That's what it is. Mine was already unchecked. Okay, so it's checked. You want to uncheck it and click Save Changes because you do want them to index the site. That way, as more and more traffic goes to your site, you're going to go higher and higher up into the Google search rankings. So thank you for that clarification, Jessica. There was a question earlier on, oops, wrong button. There was a question earlier on vanity sites. So if you've purchased, mynamesellsrealestate.com, You should be able to launch that automatically just by going to GoDaddy or to wherever you have that you purchased the URL. But there is another step here that Moxie does recommend. So if you set up a vanity domain and click go there, this is my primary domain, but it's going to take you through the steps. So if you don't have one, then you simply you can click here to get started. If you already have a vanity domain, it tells you go step 2. I'm on a training. Sorry about that. I think we're all kind of dealing with pets and children more than we ever have before in our work life, so I appreciate your patience with us. So you simply skip to step 2, and it's going to have you fill out a form. Again, this is not necessarily a step that you have to take. Your link should be up and running today, but I highly recommend checking it. If you have imarealtor.com, go there, make sure that the link is still working. If it's not, your first step is to go to GoDaddy. Make sure that your forward is set up. Your second step is to come here and fill out this form. However, this does get a little bit more technical, so just feel free to reach out to myself or to the Moxie support team, and we'll be able to help you set that up. But again, that is in here, completing your site activation. We first made it visible to search engines, and then if you have a vanity domain, you can click go there. So again, we didn't hit each individual site, but again, it's very intuitive. You just click go there, and it's going to allow you to update your website however you want it to look. An agent out of Petoskey, I don't think Jamie's on the call right now, but shout out to Jamie. You can see that she customized her website to look how she wanted it to look. So she put in her own photo. She changed how it looks here. She has her information there. She got fancy with some scripting. She has some customized searches for different areas that she covers. And then she has a contact me form for her neighborhood news. And she did not hide that mortgage widget, so it's there. So you can see that's a very customized site that she worked on. However, if you go to, I'm going to pick on some people here. Unless something's broken or bleeding, I need you to go back upstairs. Okay, go get an ice pack. So you can see here, this agent hasn't done anything to his site, which is fine because it still looks beautiful. It's a fully functioning site. It's completely IDX fed for all of the listings that come from his particular MLS, which this agent is Engler, Northern Great Lakes. So you can see his headshots there. The feature properties are here. And if you keep scrolling, it has the mortgage rates and then the neighborhood news options at the bottom. So again, whether you want to fully customize this site or if you want to just make sure your contact information is correct, you have a lot of options for you. Let's just take a look at one real quick. So create custom search links. Go there. So I don't actually have one in my list yet, but that's okay because I launched into here and it tells me. So now I have to add a new search. So it says to custom search path. The path must begin with search. It gives you a tip. The easiest way to construct your custom search path is to execute a search on your site. So all you have to do is go to your site. So in this case, we're going to go back to Kevin's site. Just for an example, you don't want to go to cvgreatlakes.com. You want to go to your site to make sure that they stay sticky to you. So say that we want to do Acme, Michigan. So you can start by just doing the city. Bear with my Wi-Fi. You can do a lot of different options. So if you go into filters here, you can choose to have it be waterfront. You can choose square footage. You can choose lot size. If you want to hit cancel and say I want to just do Elk Lake, what I would do is click the draw pencil, quick draw, circle the area I wanted. Good to go there. Say I only want what's considered waterfront. I go back to my filters and I click on waterfront. Apply. So now that's my search. So I'm in Acme. I drew it just around the lake. I only want Elk Lake and I only want waterfront. So this could be Elk Lake waterfront. What I do now is I go up to my URL button. I want to make sure the whole thing's in blue by clicking on it. And then either right click copy, or if you're on a Mac, command copy. If you're on a PC, control copy. Go back to, I'm gonna have to go back a few clicks here. Bear with me, I have a lot of windows open. Go back to here, and then you want to click Control V, and that's going to paste it. So you can see it looks a little crazy. So, but on the screen, you can see right here, it shows you exactly what you want it to look like. So you find the hashtag status, you back that up, and then you just type in exactly what it says to type in, search. So this is Elk Lake waterfront properties. You can click preview and it's going to show you what it looks like, and that launched directly into it, so you're good to go there. And then you just simply click save, and my search was updated. So now back to home, back to create custom search links. Now that's an option. So you can do search my favorite properties or whatever it might be. And then as you build these out, you'll have more and more options. So you can click save there. And then that's updated. So it seemed like a lot of steps, but it's really just a couple clicks to set up the parameters. So she did a few different things on hers to get them to show up on her website, but the one I just did with what took me maybe a minute and a half, it shows right up here in my navigation bar, search my favorite properties. Once I click on that, right, she did that by customizing her appearance or her site pages. So from site pages, she clicked add new. She did a custom search. And then she went in and titled it this way. And then once that's done, it's going to show up in her list here. And then she can move it up and down so it shows up in the navigation page. But if you want it to show up specifically embedded how she did, that's done from the home page. You click edit. And then what she did is she inserted those into I'm sorry, I have to go back a step. Hers is so customized that you have to go back to where it says home page. She did it, but she has WordPress experience from a previous life, so she was able to do that. And we can help if you want to frame out how that looks, how in your mind you want it to look. We can definitely get you help to build that out. But that is definitely a lot more customizable. You can do as much or as little. Yeah, you can do as much as or as little as you want. So keep in mind, just like Kevin's site, which I don't know if I still have up, but I mean, you have fully functioning websites already up and running, but you can customize them as much as you want. Well, if you just follow through all the steps that it suggests, you're going to be well on your way to customizing it how you want it. But if you want to take it a step further, then we can absolutely get you help. But definitely do go through the common tasks, because you'd be surprised at how robust of a site you can make with just a few clicks. As far as where? So you do have a few options in your welcome text that you can edit. You can't really change the font. I mean, you can italicize it and stuff, but unless you really get into the customization portion of it, you have the options that are here. Not from this screen, but when you get into the customization on your own sites, then you can. So the marketing group went through and chose the standard fonts. So for those particular, let me try to get back to a live site here. So for these particular things, no, you can't change those fonts. So right, not in the standard homepage, but if you were going to go the Jamie Kardash route and build out a brand new customized homepage, then you would be able to do that here. But as far as Yep, she did that by doing customized page. Yep, so she came to appearance and she did custom right here. So she did create a new page. And then she built it from here. Yep. Which if you click here, page builder, it's maybe not as intense as you might think it is. So if you click page builder, you can take a tour if you want. I'm gonna click no thanks because we're running short on time and we still have to talk about Engage. But there are templates in here. So if you don't like the 2 standard templates, you can come in here and without even building out anything yourselves, you can choose a template to work from. So Moxie has built out all of these templates. So you have that option there, or if you go into modules, you can get real fancy with it, just depending on how much time you want to spend on this and how much experience you have. But basically you yes, it would be, but you'd have to build out the whole. Correct, but you'd have to build out the whole page. So if you want to bring over your text editor, you could type what you wanted to there, but then you'd have to build out other modules like the search feature and the photo and everything. But yes, that's how she did all that customization. But again, keep in mind you don't have to. You still have fully functioning sites, and if you change the photo, if you change it from agent focus to search focus, I mean, you can change a lot of settings very quickly just by going through the standard, but there are these templates here that you can totally go through. If there's one that you like more, you can choose the template. And then you can do things within here. So if you liked this template, but you didn't particularly like that photo, you can change that photo here. So there's a lot of customization, or you can do very little, just depending on how you want to do it. The topic after SSL. I believe that would be the vanity domain. John, are you still on? So I believe he, I'm not sure if he means, oh, hey, John, which one were you talking about? Okay, that could be the custom search links. So if you click there, it's going to take you to this page, and then you just click add new search. From here, you want to leave this screen up, go to a brand new screen to your website. And that's where you're going to set your search parameters. It could be vacant land, it could be waterfront, it could be luxury, it could be a lot of whatever you want to do for a custom search. If you click filters, you have all of these options. Hopefully after April 30th, we'll be able to do an open house one when we finally are released back into the wild. So any of those searches, you set your parameters, and then up here, you click that whole URL and copy it. Bring it back to here, and then you just follow the instructions. So you paste it in there, and then you delete search is already there. So you just delete everything before the word search, and then that's your custom property search. Any other questions, Jessica? Okay. So again, I know it can seem intense, but that's why it's so great. So if you want to do very little work on your website, it's up and running and ready to go. If you want to do a ton of customization, you have that option as well. Or somewhere in between, if you want to just go through these options and change a photo here, a search feature there, you have those options for you. But again, keep in mind, other than making sure your contact information and headshot's correct, there's really little that you have to do today because your websites are already up and running for you. So in the last couple minutes here, we're going to talk about Engage, and I'm just going to back out so that I'm not confusing myself. So again, we're back in my.schmidtresources.com. Let me reload that page. Did not reload where I wanted it to. No worries. We're going to go back to my headshot, which is your menu, back into my account. So now we're going to talk about Engage, and this is a step that we're highly encouraging each of you to take. Even if you're not going to use the CRM, the client resource or the client relationship management tool, which we are recommending that you do. But if you're not going to use it, if you're going to stick with Zap, if you're going to stick with Top Producer, we are asking that you go into Engage at least once and set your goal, because this is going to help your office manager help you reach your goal for your productivity for the year. Now, we all know with the current climate, our goals may have gotten delayed a little bit, not stopped, just maybe a little bit delayed. But we are encouraging you to go into Engage at least once to set that goal, because then your manager, with the help of the MLS feed, is going to keep an eye on your productivity, and they're going to be able to help coach you more than they ever have before with all of this great data. So it's super simple to do. You simply click on Engage right up here. Now, I've already been in Engage, so your screen's going to look a little bit differently than what mine looks. Okay. You're going to have a tutorial pop up when you first log in, and it's going to take you through the steps. Now, if you're utilizing your CB Great Lakes website, your CB Great Lakes email, it's going to automatically sync your contacts into Engage for you. There's nothing that you have to do to get your contacts in here. They've automatically come over from your CB Great Lakes email address. Now, if you are running a different Gmail, now unfortunately this does not work for AOL or Yahoo or Hotmail or any of the other options. It's only Gmail, because Moxie works with G Suite, which we do as a company as well. So if you're operating my name at gmail.com, we can change your sync email over to that email address so that your contacts come over from that email address instead. If you want to do that, you simply just reach out to the support at moxieworks.com and ask them to change your sync email. And then they'll change that. You'll be able to go into Engage, and it'll sync all your contacts over. So you can see it syncs your calendar if you're using your G Suite calendar, and it syncs all of your people. Here is where your goal is. So when you first log into Engage the first time, it's going to prompt you to set the goal. So you don't even have to worry about finding it. It's going to actually ask you for your number. So when you put that goal in, at that point, every time that you close a transaction in your MLS, it's on an automatic feed over to Engage. So it's going to track all of your transactions for you. It's going to show you all of your actives and pendings. It's going to show you your closed transactions. It's going to show your GCI forecast based on all of the activities that you're doing in Engage. So you can see that this can be a really great way for you to run your own personal businesses and track it for you without having to enter any information, because it's all coming over either from your email or from the MLS. So this is a really cool tool to keep you on track for what your goal is for your own GCI through the year. And you can see here I have agent mode and manager mode. Of course, if you're an agent, you would just have agent mode, but you have your dashboard, which is what we're looking at, was what we were looking at prior. And then if you want to launch into your people, you simply click here. If you want to launch into the goal screen that we were just at, you simply click here. Again, every time that you transact in the MLS, it's automatically fed over into the system to help you track your business without you having to do anything. If you want to go into your people, you can simply click overview right here from the people menu. And this all operates on how, there's my tutorial that just popped up. This all operates the marketing sales flow. So if they're in the marketing, they're not necessarily a client yet, but they're in your sphere of influence. They need to know that you're in the business of real estate. Once they turn over to a prospect, it's when they raise their hand and they're like actively probably getting into either the buying or the selling process. Once they sign that buyer broker, or if they sign a listing agreement, obviously they would go into your actives. And then once they have something under contract, whether as a buyer or if their listing goes under contract, they move over to pending. So the system will track what your business is doing so that you can keep on goal for the goal that you've set yourself. It's going to tell you, you have this many people in marketing. To reach your goal, you're going to need this many. You have this many people in prospects, but if you really want to reach your yearly goal, you're going to need this many. So it's going to help you track the productivity that you need to do to reach your goals. If you want to see what the people contact cards look like, you can go into My People. And then, of course, I have a ton because this all synced over from my email address, but I have all of the people here. You can sort by last name. You can do sort order. You can do things like edit groups. All of your groups should have came over from your email, but if they did not, you can create new groups in here by simply clicking there. You can filter by either group, by the name, by a phone number, however you want to group it. If you click into a client, you have a lot more options here. Obviously, not everybody in your email is a client, right? It could be a title company. It could be a pest control person. It could be an inspector. So you're going to be able to say if they're a client or a non-client. If they're a non-client, you have a couple options. It can be personal. Maybe it's your mom. Maybe it's your dad. It can be a collaborator. Those third-party vendors like title, mortgage, insurance, or maybe it's your pastor or your kid's teacher and you just don't want them engaged at all because they literally have nothing to do with your real estate career. You can remove from Engage. If you remove them from Engage, it's not removing it from your email. So Moxie will not back sync into your email databases. So you can remove it from Engage and it'll still be available to you in your Gmail account, whether it be at gmail.com or at cbgreatlakes.com. If you watched Moxie Monday 2 days ago, you heard JD talk about adding subscriptions for your clients. This can be a great touch point that you can easily set up and set it and forget it. They'll get contact from you once a month without you having to remember to contact your sphere of influence. So you can add neighborhood news subscription or you can add listing announcement subscriptions. And again, in each portal in Moxie, there's no need to be intimidated by them because there's always a description of exactly what they're talking about. And quite frequently there's either samples or it gives you a preview of what you're about to do. So if you click view sample, you're going to see that it's completely branded to you. Your content will be here. Your DBA with the brand new logo will be there, and then it gives you an idea of what that email is going to look like. So again, you just simply click add subscription and it'll add it for that particular client that you're working with. If you ever get lost, you can simply click back in the upper Engage If you sat with us on our previous trainings, you know that present is found here. And then if you click engage, you're right back here. You can go back into goals, you can go back into calendar, you can go back into your people. We will discuss campaigns at a later date, but if you would like to get in here and start playing around with it, you can click add campaign, and all of these drip campaigns are already built out for you. There's a great new one. Of course, we all know that we're working virtually. So there is a 4-week working virtual, which just basically stays in touch with your sphere. And these are just built out with the graphics that the marketing department created for us. So you can see that those are there. So again, that's all launched from Engage. Engage is your goals, which we highly recommend you get in there and set your goal, even if you're not going to be using the product on a day-to-day basis, which we encourage you do, because as you can see, it really is a one-stop shop for you to manage your business. And then we have the goals, we have people, we have the calendar, and then we have the campaigns. So we have 3 minutes left. So if there's any questions, and I know that's a lot of content in a short amount of time, but we do highly recommend going to Schmidt Resources, to the Moxie Square. Moxie Mondays are great because they're 10-15 minute snippets. You know, do this one thing, then the next week you can concentrate on something else. But all of these trainings are recorded here as well. There's a really great Engage in Websites training that Moxie trainer put on, so you can always rehash any of this information by going there. So Jessica, I'm going to launch you and see if there's any questions that we may have missed. Okay, so we'll just give it another minute or two. If you guys have any questions, feel free to unmute yourselves. Feel free to type it in the chat box. Again, keep in mind, it doesn't need to be intimidating. You can get in there and play around. There's nothing you can break. You can customize it as much as you want or as little as you want, and the product will still work for you. But highly recommend getting in there and start looking at your Engage, set your goal, get in there and see your sphere of influence that's already come over from your email. And if you're having any issues with the sync, just let us know. Keep in mind, any Gmail account, whether it be cbgreatlakes.com or @gmail.com, can be synced over to Engage to bring your contacts over. So Becky.Stacy@cbgreatlakes.com should be forwarded to wherever you have it forwarded in Gmail. That would have been correct. Your forward would have been taken care of last year with G Suite, but your sync email, you're not going to be able to sync the BeckyStacy.com because it's most likely a Microsoft product and not a Gmail product. So you can work with Jessica offline to figure out the best solution there. But as far as getting your emails, they're being forwarded to your landing spot, which is the Becky@BeckyStacy.com. Yes, I believe so. I don't know that I've ever done that, but let's just take a quick look. So if you come in here, let's see. When I click on it, it lets me go up to 100,000. Okay, so if you click the cog in the upper right corner there, if you can see that guy right there, and go to GCI goal right there, this is where you can change it. And so it changed it to 200,000. So again, we went to Engage, into goals, hit the cog, oops, not the envelope, hit the cog, and go to GCI goal. And then you can change that goal at any time. It's a great question, Scott. Yes. So if there's information that's not in your email, but you want it to come over, if you go to People, My People, or Add People. So you can add it right from here, or if you're already in My People because you're working with your database, you click add people right here. It's going to ask the obvious information, right? Name, contact information, address, if they have a website, relationship. You can put as much or as little content in here as you want to add a person. Click done, and then they're in your database. So great question there. Anything else, Jessica? Yes. So the way that you want to get your Zap contacts over is to export them out of Zap and then import them into your Gmail. And then they're going to automatically sync over to Engage. So if you go into Zap, you just want to go into your contacts, click export it to a CSV file, CSV, and then you'll be able to go into your contacts in Gmail and import them. And then once that's done, they'll automatically sync over to Engage. Yeah, so if you go back into if you go back to schmidtresources.com and go into Moxie, how to import contacts. And I'm sorry if that's showing up a little bright light, but there is a great video here as well. But again, if you have any problems, if you send us your database, we can do a lot of this work on the back end as well. Okay, well, we do have another one of these sessions on the 29th. If you head to Schmidt Education Calendar, or if you're in Schmidt Resources and you go into the Michigan, you can get to Schmidt Education Calendar here. Any virtual training that we're hosting, any training that the brand's bringing us, any training from Launchpad, lots of great training. Those are always found in here. So you can see on the 29th, it's not on there yet, but it will be, is the next session of Engage in Websites. But again, reach out to us offline, head over to the support page, head over to Schmidt Resources, watch the Moxie Mondays or join us live every Monday at 10:15. And then this is a very robust product. There's a lot of different pieces to it. So we just suggest taking one and tackling it and then moving on to the next. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us after. Hi. Sure. Yeah, if you just click on your name in the upper right corner and go to My Account, go to Web Info. I'm sorry, click the pencil. Click Web Info. And then if you scroll down, all your social media links can be found here. So just go to your Facebook in a new browser window, copy that URL that shows up when you're on your business page and just paste it into here. And then that will put the little icon on there for you. Yeah, you're welcome. Oh, don't forget to click save right here after you add it. You're welcome. Okay, well, we went just a little bit long, but we started maybe a couple minutes late while we waited for people to log on. So I appreciate your time, appreciate your patience with my children and my dog. We're all kind of doing the best we can right now, so I appreciate it. And if you have any questions, just reach out to myself, to Jessica, to your hub, however you feel most comfortable. Just let us know what we can do to help.